We're at Samuel's Clubhouse to get a tenderloin, and I'm going to show you how to save a fuck ton of money on steak. If you like steak. If you don't like steak, this video isn't for you. But see, last time I came to Samuel's Clubhouse, I paid 43 doll hairs for 2 filet mignons. We're not doing that. I'm going to show you. We're going to get a whole tenderloin. We're going to take it home. We're going to trim it. And you're going to be paying probably about 12 bucks a steak, you know, versus 20. Now, the goal when we walk in here is to only walk out with a tenderloin, but we'll see if that happens. Because it's Samuel's Clubhouse, and they always have fun stuff. This bad boy, a whole tenderloin. Did I walk out with just that? Nay. No, I got a whole pair of Adidas for lifting shoes. I deadlift, it's fun, I love it. And I also got a little summer outfit that was on clearance. It was shorts and shirt for $6.81. How can you beat it at Samuel's Clubhouse? You know, how can you beat it? Here's our tenderloin. Let's cut this shit up. You're gonna need some paper towels. I use reusable paper towels because it saves me money. Obviously, I like doing that. That's why I bought the whole freaking tenderloin. Oh, we're gonna use some paper towels and we're gonna dry this off. And don't worry about my reusable paper towels. You're not eating this filet, okay? These are sanitized every time I wash them. The world did function before we started throwing our money in the trash. I promise you that. And you can't get pretty prints like this in a paper towel, can you? No, you can't. These are from Sudbilly. They're called Terra towels. Anywho, let's focus. My cutting board isn't exactly big enough for this. So to start off, we're just gonna trim this piece off, okay? Because I don't want this all over my counter. Now, this is your filet. You can go through and cut it down to exact portions if you want. I'm not gonna do that. My husband's on his way home and I gotta get dinner started. But anyways, there's gonna be big pieces of fat on here, okay? So we're gonna cut those off to expose our silver skin, because the silver skin is what we absolutely have to take off, okay? You can spend your time making this pretty, but we're not a fucking restaurant, okay? I'm a wife, I'm busy, I spend 90% of my life running around and doing everything, and I just wanna get dinner done, okay? Cut this piece off just to round that out for even steaks, but we're not throwing that away. This stuff does not get thrown away, okay? So anytime you have silver skin on meat, which it's all over pork, it's all over beef, it's just silver skin, okay? Basically, you're going to want to remove that. This is silver skin. See how it's like silver? Okay. The reason why we're removing that is because it's 100% inedible. Like when it cooks, it's gonna get chewy and not in a good way, okay? So we're gonna take our knife and we're just gonna run up underneath that silver skin and lift it just like that, and then start pulling it away, and it should just come right off. You can use your knife if you have to, but 90% of the time, it just pulls right off, okay? Now the silver skin, you will throw away. That's not edible. So I just use, if it does start pulling up meat, just use your knife and pull it back, you know? And you would pretty much do the same method for fish, but you would start up at the tip of the tail. See how that just comes right off? Beautiful, beautiful. Once you get that silver skin off, you're gonna see like a big piece of fat right here, okay? Towards one of the sides of your tenderloin once you move it around. This is called the chain. What we're gonna do with that, I still have a little bit of silver skin to remove, so don't worry. But we're gonna go up under there and we're just going to cut that all the way down and remove it. Boom, just like that, okay? Putting all that to the side, I'm not gonna trim any of this fat, okay? Because I want that fat to render in the pan, but now we're going to cut it. This is what restaurants get it down to right before they cut your filet mignon, okay? So I'm going to go and make about 1.5 inch cut. Guy would probably say that's 4 inches, but it's actually about 1.5 inches. True story. And the closer I get to the thinner part, I'll make them thicker. That way it kind of evens out in weight. Does that make sense? See how these ones are like super, super thick compared to this one? Do you see that? Because this one has, it's bigger. It's bigger. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steaks, but we're gonna get more, okay? So versus paying 27 pounds, what was it? 40 bucks for 2 steaks. So 20 bucks a steak. We're already at almost $14 a steak. Boom, look, there's another steak right there. Cut this piece off. 10 steaks, $14 steaks. We're down in price by $6 a steak. 6 times 14, what's the math on that? $84 we saved in the future. This is how I grew up, is like when you have the money for something, you try to stock up on it. You try to buy in bulk. When things go on sale, you stock up on it. If I showed you my office, you would be like, what? Because it's just, it's a grocery stock area. Because when things go on sale, I've always been a shopper like that. And when I have the money to get a whole tenderloin, I will get a tenderloin or whatever. We used to eat ribeyes all the time, but we don't eat ribeye anymore. So, oh, we're gonna take this piece off and make beef tips out of that. There we go. These are little baby steaks, so those will probably go with this. Now this is the chain. I'm gonna remove any silver skin and like crazy excess fat off of here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not entering this into a steak competition, okay? You're feeding your family. So just don't stress, okay? It's not that serious. It's a piece of meat, okay? We've all dealt with one of those at a point in time of our lives. You know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. I remember years ago, I was like running restaurants and I had these 3 stores that were under me. And it was like the day that like, I don't know if it was a full moon, I can't remember, but it was the day that everything was gonna like burn to the ground. And I called someone from corporate and I was just like losing my mind. I was melting down. I was like, this is just so stupid. Like everything's wrong. And he was like, Des, calm down. It's just subs. And I was like, true story. Never really thought about that. So while you're panicking and losing your mind over something that really probably isn't that big of a deal because you're holding yourself to a level of ungracious perfection, just remember that whatever it is, that's all it is, okay? Doesn't have to be the end of the world. Doesn't have to be catastrophic, no matter how much your brain wants to tell you that it is. I promise you, it's not. So there we have it. I cut the chain down into little chunks. We'll make these garlic steak bites with that from Applesauce and ADHD's cookbook. And then we've got 12 filet mignon. Now these ones are small, right? So I'll probably make those with shrimp one night, okay? But this is how you save money. You gotta save up your money to buy in bulk to save money in the long run. That's how my dad always did it. That's how we always did it. Oh my gosh, when stuff would go on sale, it was insane. But that's how you do it, okay? So if you wanna get you a big cut of meat from Samuel's Clubhouse, don't be scared of it. Just take it home and play with your knife and chop it up and freeze it. The steak, nothing else. Okay, love you, bye.